Hello members of the internet, and welcome to another computer overview. Today I'm going to be looking at the Dell Optiplex GX620. But wait, haven't I already went over that one? Well, actually yes I did. So this is actually going to be an update because I've done some changes on it and I've got some new information that you users who would like to upgrade those little bastards would like to know. Let's take a closer look once again. So like I've mentioned in my previous video, all you have to do to eject the case was, there's this little latch at the back, you just pull it, oops, pull it, ow, yeah, that did not really hurt actually, but it's, okay, well, that's one way to open up a door. Yeah, so we're revealed with this little there. But my main focus, you pop the latch here to remove the optical drive and the floppy drive. You swing this little thing there. There's two of them. One of them's missing. I don't know what happened to it. So that's the first update. It's been broken off. And then you just swivel it out. There's this little serial ATA cable there. You gotta be careful. And once it's done, we can get to the main business. Now, like I've mentioned, there's a PCI Express 16 line and one PCI slot. They're low profile, and well, I don't have any low profile cards, nor do I intend to use one. Now let's take a look to those capacitors here. Over here, there's one capacitor here, but there was supposed to be another one right here, right next to it. Unfortunately, that did not go too well. Like I've mentioned before, the capacitor leaked very, very badly and decided to, well, not take the solder anymore, and the pins got stuck and everything. So I took my trusty Dremel and I scraped it all off. And unfortunately though, as I pulled all the wires in the back with the other bulge capacitors that were crap anyways, well, that did not go too well. There are 2200 microfarad capacitors at 6.3 volts. I have replaced them with a 22 microfarad, 16 volt. Well, unfortunately, I could not get this one soldered back in, and I decided to also, my intention was to use 3300 microfarad 6.3 volts. Now, if you play with the microfarad, you gotta be careful because that can also make your system act funny. But I've never ever seen one of those actually happen on this, so I've yet to actually see that. And 1100 microfarad, I don't give a shit. But because of that missing capacitor, I thought to myself, well, maybe it won't work. But some of you may remember the many motherboards to try out. The link's going to be in the description. Check the timing. Where I had an Asus A7N 8X, I believe, with 7 missing capacitors, and it still posted fine. So I decided I'd throw it in and give it a shot, and lo and behold, it worked. And I'm pretty sure this one also is non-functional because the solder at the bottom is, one of the contact is basically gone. So, I don't know what they're supposed to power. Maybe they power the squeaker can. Well, maybe they have to do with the squeaker can or the expansion ports, but sometimes I just don't know. So let me just put that hard drive back in and pan out of there, and I'll be back with you. Now over here is the processor. This is basically my main subject. I've read on the forums, I've checked on the forums, and as I've mentioned before, oh, my intrusion switch is actually off. Anyways, back to the subject. They were mentioning that some of them were successful with Core 2 Duos and everything, and I've mentioned that in the previous video, but without quoting me on that. Now I've gotten the perfect updates. They will work with the Pentium D. I tried a 945, it works flawlessly. They'll take up to 960. However, if you're going with those kind of Pentium Ds, apparently there is a special copper heatsink that you gotta purchase, which is not your standard one. So if you do plan on that, it's definitely not going to be this bulk Oak type workstation computer, and oh, that's off. Anyways, so that is it. But there was also this guy. I don't know if he was a troll or if he was actually saying the truth. But he said he was able to get a Core 2 Duo running on an E6300. Make sure your BIOS revision was at A11. Well, for him, I have 23 CPUs that are Core 2 Duo, and of course I had an E6300 in there, so I decided to, put it in. And all I got greeted with was an amber light. So I don't know what the heck that guy was doing. He's obviously a troll, or B, did not have the stock motherboard for that system. There was many models that were using the same case design, so it's easy to put another motherboard in there and people think, hey, it's an Optiplex 620, but in fact it is not. So as far as the Pentium dual cores, I don't think they'll work either because there is no microcode supported for the BIOS. That is what I've heard. Again, if you have managed to get a Pentium dual core going in there, well, good for you, because I'm not going to try. I'm not going to go around and purchase it, because there was a user that actually went ahead and purchased a used E6300. Good for him. It wasn't really that expensive, but he purchased it on that one guy, and I feel bad for him because it did not work. Anyways, so now that I got this all done, let's get it booted, and then I'll show you what it actually does nowadays, which is basically collect dust and nothing interesting. And of course, putting the panel this time is the opposite of doing, the opposite of doing the other one. Almost. Well, for the most part. Alright, let's rock and roll. It's a very, very quiet system. And it's running OpenSUSE 13.2. It's got 1 gig of RAM and 80 gig hard drive. And my DVD burner, which replaced the defective CD burner CD-ROM drive that was in there. Running KDE Frameworks 5. Yeah, I'm really pushing the limit of this thing. And there it is. I did modify a few things, like I've removed the thing there. What is it again? The desktop widget, and I've changed the background. Of course, there's many things missing, unfortunately, because I kind of did the guerrilla style of installing KDE Frameworks 5, because when you want to install KDE 4 subsystem, it installs all the program. But if you do KF5, well, forget it, everything's gone. You have to do it manually. So what is it? Kinfo center, there we go. Let's see here. There's not a lot of memory left. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure it's in 982, 945. Where is it? 82, 945. That's it. Integrated graphics. I'm not sure how much memory it takes. Let's check in the memory. I got 986 out of 1024. For some reason it used, I guess it's 32 megs is shared, but it seems to take only 31. Whatever. It's graphics, it works. That's all I care. The system actually works fine. I can even go on the internet, no problem. Here's the proof. It's pretty nice. Of course, it takes forever to load. Well, it's not really forever. You know, I gotta get used to the fact that I'm running with a hard drive, not an SSD. But it works very, very well. I like it. And despite that missing capacitor, and maybe the other one doesn't even work, let's assume two of them, it works well, works stable, never had a crash out of it, it never ran unstable, and I didn't have any funny glitches on it. However, the speaker does not seem to work. As I'm going to go here, I'm going to put it all the way up, and I'm going to go to System Settings, Multimedia, and it says Default. And of course, if you probably press Test, it won't do anything. And built-in audio. It's a duplex output input. So I'm going to go around with output. And there's apparently a headphones amplifier, which doesn't seem to do anything. However, let's try the no amplifier. Doesn't do anything either. Yeah. Headphones or the amplifier, basically amplifier being probably the squeaker can as well. Input doesn't, oh, that's just a microphone. What am I talking about? Nope. Input, neither. Output, duplex, which won't do anything either. So I guess my squeaker can is actually a bit squeaked out. I don't know if anything else will work on this. So anyways, I'm not planning to use it as sound. You know, this squeaker cans aren't designed really well to make a nice jukebox out of your bachelor party. You know. Well, that's all I have to show. It's using the Breeze theme. This is basically the new theme for KDE Frameworks 5. And this one also took not too bad to boot. And it shouldn't take too bad to shut down either. So I guess you can depend on your Dells after all. There we go. That was as fast as that. Alright, I'm going to wrap things up again. So there you have it. This is the update for this Optiplex GX620, and some answers being answered on this video, hopefully as well. And yeah, so if you have any comments, questions, anything I've overlooked or not looked at, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Until next time, take care.